Hi guys, I'm Michelle from The Recipe Bandit, and today we're going to be trying another recipe that I happen to see on TikTok. This is for bruschetta chicken. We're going to change it up just a little bit to make it more convenient and cook faster, but I think it's actually going to be really delicious. Of course, I don't know, never made this before, but yeah, I'm up for an adventure, and hopefully you are too. So let's go ahead and start kind of figuring out what we're going to do here. So bruschetta chicken, the recipe on TikTok called for chicken breasts sliced and then pounded thin. And I thought, you know what? I have all these chicken tenders here, frozen. So I thawed out some chicken tenders, and we're going to use these instead. So what the idea is we're going to season up the chicken. We're going to bake the chicken. And then we are going to, in the meantime, while it's baking, make a little bit of bruschetta that we will put on the finished product. After it's baked for a little while and almost done, we'll put some mozzarella cheese on top and broil it so it gets all melty and good, and we'll top it with the bruschetta and a little bit of balsamic glaze. They say the balsamic glaze is optional, so we're going to try it because I happen to have some and I love it. But who knows? Let's see how it goes. So for this recipe, I'm using chicken tenders, but apparently you can use chicken breasts. You want about 1.5 pounds of them. I have 8 of these little chicken tenders because there's 4 of us in the family, and that's going to give us at least 2 each. I have some salt and pepper, some olive oil, some garlic powder. There's a little bit of Italian seasoning, paprika, and some mozzarella cheese. This is shredded mozzarella, just the pre-shredded from the grocery store stuff. I have a couple of tomatoes. We're going to make the bruschetta. I'm going to have to wash them now. I touched them all with my chicken fingers. But anyway, so we have a couple of tomatoes. These are regular tomatoes. Normally when I make bruschetta, I like Roma tomatoes, but I don't have any. So we're using regular tomatoes. I have a couple of cloves of garlic that I've peeled and we're going to chop. I went out to the garden and grabbed some basil. Their recipe called for about 1/3 of a cup. We're going to do it to taste. So we're going to take the leaves off of this, chop it up and see what we think. And then we have some balsamic vinegar. So this is for our bruschetta. These 2 are for finishing, and this is to season our meat. So let's go ahead and get going with seasoning the meat. Now I do want to mention that I have turned on the oven. It is preheating at 400 degrees. The chicken tenders should be about 20 minutes until they're fully cooked, but we are going to check them with a meat thermometer because we always do. We'll check them at about the 15-minute mark, and if we're getting close, then we will go ahead and put the mozzarella on. So that is our plan. Give me a second to wash my hands. We will get started making this chicken. All right, so in preparation, I have lined a baking sheet with aluminum foil or tin foil. I don't feel like doing dishes later, and I think I'm just going to spray this with a little cooking spray. So let me grab that. I have no idea if we need the cooking spray, but in our bowl here, we have our chicken tenders. I've drained all of the liquid off of them, and then I have my seasonings here. So we're going to start with olive oil, about a tablespoon, and then there's garlic powder, salt and pepper, paprika, and Italian seasoning. And there's no measurements on any of this stuff, so we're just going to be liberal. Garlic powder, little paprika. Oh, that's a lot of paprika. Some Italian seasoning, and some kosher salt and pepper. I'd say I've probably done about a teaspoon of each of these, and about a tablespoon of the olive oil. And we just use extra virgin olive oil. All right, so I am just going to massage these spices and the oil into these chicken tenders, get some sort of seasoning on them. I think we were pretty good in our amounts because there's not really any left in the bowl and everything's kind of getting seasoned all over. So chicken kind of looks like this now. I'm going to pull these out and we're just going to lay them, leaving a little bit of room between them on the baking sheet. The oven is preheating right now, so hopefully these will be ready to go in. That's going to beep at me and we can get them right in and get our timer going on these. Okay, our oven is ready. It's preheated at 400 and we're going to put these in. We're going to go for 15 minutes and then we'll check them. Now that the chicken's in the oven, let's go ahead and make our bruschetta. If you've never made bruschetta, it's one of the simplest, most flavorful things that you can make. I always feel like the longer it sits, the better it tastes. But in the spirit of this being a weeknight and this being an experimental dinner, we're just going to make it. We're just going to eat it. We're going to see what we think. So for the bruschetta, you're going to need a couple of tomatoes, some basil, salt and pepper, olive oil, a little balsamic vinegar, and some garlic. That's it. That's all you need. So I've already gone ahead and chopped up the garlic just while I was waiting for the chicken to be done. So we're going to add the garlic to the bowl. Now grab some basil out of the garden. You of course don't want the stem part, you just want the leaves. So I'm going to pull some off. The original TikTok recipe had 1/3 of a cup of basil. That's kind of a lot. We're going to do it to taste. If we think that we have enough, then we will stop adding. I probably have 1/4 cup of basil leaves. You can, of course, can't put basil into bruschetta if it's this big. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of roll it all up in its little pile, and then we're just going to cut it with a knife in just like almost like a chiffonade, like just really thin little strips. And like I said, if we choose not to put all of this in there, that's okay, but we're going to have it ready just in case we do. All right, so we are going to put that over to the side. Let's get our tomatoes into the bowl and let's see what our ratio is kind of looking like. The tomatoes, we're just going to cube or just dice them nicely so that we don't have too big of chunks. We're going to top our chicken with this. So we're just going to spoon a little bit onto each one, and everybody will be able to do their own spooning. They can choose what they want to have on there. Roma tomatoes are the best to make bruschetta with because there's very little in the way of seeds. But like I said, this is what I happen to have, so this is what we're using today. All right, that's one tomato. The other one's a little smaller. I think that 2 tomatoes looks like it's going to be just the right amount for this. Okay, so in our bowl now, we have the garlic and the tomatoes. We're going to go ahead and put in our basil. I'm just throwing it all in. Now we're going to add a little bit of olive oil, probably about a tablespoon. Add 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, and we're going to add some kosher salt and pepper. And we are going to just try this. We're going to see what we think. We are going to season this to taste. So if we want more of something, we'll go ahead and put it in, but we get to choose. So once we've determined that we have the flavor the way that we want it, we'll just put it in the refrigerator and let it rest. Let's see. That's actually not too bad. I'm going to put just a little bit more balsamic in there because I like it that way. Maybe another 1/2 tablespoon. Okay, another little taste. That's really good. All right, so we have a little bowl of bruschetta. And that, when our chicken is done and ready to come out of the oven with the cheese broiled on it, this will be the final topper with just a little bit of balsamic glaze if we choose on this experimental TikTok bruschetta chicken. We've got about another 5 minutes before we're going to check the chicken. So I'm going to put this in the fridge, clean up a little bit, and I'll come back to you. All right, we're at the 15-minute mark with our little chicken tenders, and they look really good. They smell really good. And you want 165 degrees at the thickest part, and these are all over that, so we're good. So our next step is going to be to take some mozzarella, some shredded mozzarella, put it on the top of these, and broil them just until it gets brown and bubbly. So I'm going to switch the oven to broil, move them to the top, and I'm going to broil them. I'm going to start with about 3 minutes on low. All right, they're out and they look wonderful. Look. All right, so now all that's left to do is get our bruschetta, put a little on the top, see what we think. All right. So while I wait for the other things we're having for dinner to be done, let's go ahead and see what we think of bruschetta chicken, shall we? Our bruschetta looks so good. I'm just going to put a little bit here right on the top. All right, so this is what it looks like with our bruschetta on top of it. Now we're going to have a bite. Let's see what we think. We have melty cheese. We have bruschetta. That's good. They're going to like that. We've got the freshness of the basil, got the balsamic, and the chicken is cooked just right. That little cheese just kind of binds it all together. Ah, this is a good one. I'm going to make this one again. And you should too. Well, I like it when experiments turn out. All right, so this recipe, well, it's not on the website yet. Will probably be eventually, but it'll be in the description for you guys. I hope you try it. All right. I might actually try this and use more chicken tenders next time. I was a little leery, so this time I just made 8, but I could see making this for a crowd. This is actually quite delicious. So if you like what we're doing, please come back and see us again. Please like and subscribe. Click that little notification button down at the bottom so that you know when we put out new videos, whenever we're trying new stuff. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm supposed to be drizzling this with balsamic glaze. It might even be better. Okay, let's try. Okay, here goes nothing. Means I get another bite. It's good, but not necessary. But it's good. Okay. I'm going to go eat dinner now. So thanks so much for joining us, you guys. Hope to see you again. Hope you'll try this one. And yeah, hope I find something else on TikTok to try for next week. Thanks so much. We'll see you soon.